again, welcome to Sports Talk on the Friday night edition. I'm Dr. Jerry Green, and I want to thank everyone for just spending your Friday with us on this Valentine's Day night. And I know all of us, or some of us got our wives that's letting us do our thing tonight, but I want to thank you guys. How you doing, Big Don, for Big Don Production? What's up, my brother?
Good. Everything's good.
Everything is good. Also, Pastor Walter Teague from Basileia, one of the greatest pastors in the world. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Jerry. God bless. How's everyone tonight?
I am blessed. And our sports legend, Brother Anthony McLean. How you doing, my brother?
Doing well. Thanks. Glad to be here.
All right. I want to thank y'all for Tuesday night, man, for filling in. Of course, you guys know I wasn't around. I started my chemo on Monday. Doing good. They told me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday supposed to be the worst days. But trust me, I'm feeling good. So I thank God just for feeling great tonight, man. So I can be
Amen.
So that's a good thing. I know hour go by fast. I'm expecting Kendall to come on, and maybe the Bishop and Larry and maybe whoever else coming on. But let's get started. Tonight is going to start the All-Star Weekend. They got the Rising Stars. So Anthony, man, give us a little rundown on the Rising Stars that starting tonight at 9 o'clock. What is that about?
Well, it's they've changed up both the Futures game, the Rising Stars game, and the actual All-Star game. We'll get to the All-Star game in just a sec. But for the Rising Stars, it's 3 teams comprised of NBA rookies and sophomores. They're going to be coached by Tim Hardaway Sr., Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin. Now, the 4th team is going to be made up of players who have suited up in the OG League, and Jeremy Lin is going to be serving as the honorary coach for that. So basically, in each semifinal, the first team that gets to 40 wins, and the championship target score, the 2 semifinal winners will play each other in the championship game, and the target score will be 25. And in many ways, it's similar to what's going on with the overall All-Star game on Sunday. 4 teams put together by Shaq, Charles Barkley,
Kenny
Smith, and Candace Parker. The 2 in the same situation there. First to 40 wins, and the 2 semifinalists will play each other in the championship game. So they're trying to mix something up a little bit. There's been grumblings about people are getting a little bit bored with All-Star Weekend. So we'll see how it does. And again, you were just talking before we went on. I would love to see them at some point try to do a U.S. versus the world thing like hockey, where they basically have countries versus countries. But we'll see how this plays. We'll see how this plays out.
But Pastor, let me ask you a question. They call it the Rising Stars. So these are the new rookies and the second-year players in the NBA. Right. Man, is that a good idea for the All-Star Weekend? You think that could be successful?
Yeah, I think it's good. It gives you an opportunity to showcase the new up and coming, and it's not only the rookies, but like you said, it's like the sophomores as well. So it's the guys that are, the future of the NBA. So it kind of give you a look at them playing against one another, so they can kind of showcase their talents and get some exposure. Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
So Big Dom, what do you think, man? Would that enhance the weekend? For how do you feel about the All-Star Weekend, man? The last 5 months.
I haven't had a chance to sink in what's going on this weekend, because when we started hearing stuff, it came out sort of late for me. What I like about it, what I believe is we're gonna see a rising star come out of this.
Okay.
Somebody that we didn't know about, somebody we didn't think of, Jeremy Lin, somebody just going to come out and have a big weekend, and everybody going to start giving them the throne right away. So, and I think that's what's going to be good about this. If a rising star do come out of this, then they can go forward with it next year.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, they're going to have to start. The NBA going to have to start trying to find another face for the league, because LeBron is up there in age. Steph is up there in age. Kevin Durant is up there in age. You still got like Jason Tatum and Giannis and the Joker, but they're going to have to find somebody to take LeBron's spot, because LeBron James really, he's still like the face of the league, him and probably Kevin and Steph. So they're going to need a rising star to come up very, very soon. I think sooner than later.
Well, They got them.
Who
But
they
they
got?
just aren't Americans. They got them. You got SGA, you got Wimby. They got the next ones. They just aren't Americans.
But you
You
need a
know,
face.
you got Luca. Yeah, that's gonna be the face of the NBA. Wembanyama. Yeah, in the next 2 or 3 years, he's gonna be the face of the NBA.
Okay,
But don't think for 1 minute that the Lakers not going to be trying to push what's his name too, Luka Doncic. Don't think for 1 minute they're not going to try to push him all the way to the top. Because you know the Lakers
He's already
top man.
He's
But see,
already.
to me, you can't sleep on Ant-Man as well. And granted, you know, he's had his problem. He's had his own self-imposed problems offside. But I still think at some point, because of his play and whatever, John Moran can be the face of the league. Now, again, he's had a lot of self. He's had let's be honest. He's had a lot of self-inflicted wounds on his own. You know, biting on that peanut butter and knucklehead sandwich at times. But that being said, I think if he, you know, in a sense, if somebody sort of takes him aside or what have you, or if he just finally does, I think he's young enough where he'll get it. And look, they are going to push the Euro guys, but at the end of the day, this league always has been and always will be ruled by American players. That's not being xenophobic. That's just a fact.
Okay,
I got a question for you then. So if your suggestion was the NBA versus the world, the Americans versus the world, who would win?
I think the Americans would.
Oh, okay.
I think it would be a hell of a game. And see, a lot of it would have to depend on how they're going to play it. Are they going to go with now? Let's be honest. If they use the Euro, if they use sort of more Euro rules, then the Europeans will play. If they use the traditional NBA rules, then I think the NBA teams will win. What they're going to have to probably do is maybe do sort of a mix, you know, maybe have like was it 3 referees and an alternate, maybe have 2 Euro referees and 2 NBA referees. And then now I'm not sure how they could play it, but I think they would have to do something where they would probably just mix the rules or you know have certain things to balance it off. But it definitely can be done. There's no doubt in my mind.
Why wouldn't they just play NBA rules? We're talking about NBA. We're talking about the NBA European players that are in the NBA playing the American players in the NBA. NBA rules.
I agree.
Wemby's in the NBA. Luka's in the NBA. They don't have to play the European rules. They can play rules you already have established.
That's right.
Yeah. Sure. You got SGA. You got Murray. You got Joker. You got Giannis. They don't have to do European rules. They can use the NBA rules.
So let me ask the question again. Now, Anthony, you said John Moran could be the face of the NBA in the future. Who do you think, Pastor?
Oh, definitely not Ja. I think Wemby is going to be. Yeah, Wemby is a generational talent. Ja is a great player. He's nothing that we've not seen before. Wembanyama is almost 7'7". He dribbles like a point guard, shoots like a 3-point shooter, defends the basket. He's a highlight every day. He's doing something different. It's something you've never seen of a player that tall only in his 3rd year. We're not talking about, 6-year player. We're talking about he's improved this year further than he was last year. At the beginning of the year, we say, okay, I said that he'll probably be defensive player of the year. He's going to be in top 5 of MVP, not defensive player. You know what I mean? So Ja is something we've already seen. He's a great player.
Right. He's like
a great, he's a great player.
Yeah.
We're already saying that Ant-Man is the next Michael Jordan, that kind of play. Ja's not even that. He doesn't even have that, moniker being passed to him. Wemby, he's not in the class. No one's in his class. You know what I mean? We've never seen anything like this.
Big Don, what do you think, man? The face of the league in the next 5 years?
I just got to go with what the pastor just said. I just got to go with it because we never seen nothing like that. And the kind of person that they're looking for, he's fitting the bill. As long as he stay out of trouble, stay clean, put on a little weight would help. They're gonna give it to him. He seemed to be humble. You know, he don't seem to be raising any canes. They're gonna look
I mean,
at all those things.
is he doing any commercials right now? Anything? You know, I mean, when I
He
mean,
do got a commercial out.
Nothing nationally.
okay,
No.
He do got a
He's
commercial.
in San Antonio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, it's just like Giannis being in Milwaukee. He's not that. But
Ant-Man's in Minnesota. He's doing Sprite. He's doing a lot of commercials, you know, national endorsing some of these sponsors. So what I'm saying, now I know Wemby's in San Antonio, small market. Jaws in Memphis. Ant-Man is in Minnesota. When I'm looking at the face of the league, I'm talking about through sponsorships. You know, the sponsors are coming after you. They want you to endorse their product. People coming, you putting people in the seats, but people are going to come. Like if Anthony Edwards came to the Garden, yes, I would love to go to the Garden to go see him. To be honest with you. That's like when I went to see LeBron and D-Wade and the rest.
And I would love to go see Wemby. If he came to
I would love to go see Wemby. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wemby's got to get all that.
And see,
I sort of remember him having a little bit of a commercial. Not nothing really big now, but he's got to get it. He's got to get all that.
Okay.
And also, you don't, you know, I think where the NBA has hurt themselves is that there's such an emphasis on the quote unquote big cities, Boston, New York, LA, Chicago. But think of all the teams who have dominated over the past few years, you know, Oakland, basically. Yeah. Milwaukee won a title. Denver, won one. So you don't necessarily have to be in a big market to become the face of the league. And I think that's the biggest difference now in the NBA is that you don't necessarily have to have a player that's in a quote unquote big market for them to become the face of the league.
Right. That's why I brought up Anthony Edwards and Wemby, like you guys said, because them two players, they got the swag. You got to have that swag too. You know, where people are going to come see you, put people in the seats. That's what people want to see. Like I said, when you go to the Garden, is it sold out? I mean, people come to see the Ant-Man. That's when you know where you arrive, when you put people in the seats. You know, and I believe Wemby can do that. I think Anthony Edwards is at that point we can do that right now.
What I like about these guys is we pretty much can believe they'll show up.
Right.
You know, with a lot of guys getting hurt now, staying out because their finger hurt and all that kind of stuff. At least I want to go see somebody that I feel comfortable they're going to show up and play.
Right. All right, let me get back to the All-Star Weekend again. You got the Skills Challenge tomorrow night. You guys play any of that? Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley for the Cavs. You got Zachary Rizikar and Alex Sarr from the Rockets, Chris Paul and Wemby from the Spurs, and the Warriors, Draymond Green and Moses Moody. You guys know anything about the Skills Challenge? That's like the 2-on-2 game or something? Anthony, know anything about that?
Well, no, it's the skills competition didn't really change. They're still they did more of the changing for the actual All-Star game and the futures game where they wanted to just have a little bit, but the skills stuff is still basically the same. It's ironic now. They were trying to do this thing where they had the woman from the WNBA from the New Jersey. I'm sorry, from the New York Liberty. I'm saying her name wrong. Forgive me. Against Steph Curry in a 3-point contest, but they scrapped it for whatever reason. Right. And they've been teasing that. They've been teasing that for it seems like for the last couple of years, and for whatever you figured since this was going to be in Oakland, they would have it again, but they decided to drop it, which was kind of a surprise.
Well, I was listening to that on Sports Center today. They were saying that because that they said that they couldn't expand it or they couldn't make it as big or better than it was last year. So instead of just having it and not to be able to, bring it to the next level, that they decided they wasn't going to do it. So, and what they were trying to do is one of the things they were thinking about to spice it up was to have Klay Thompson join Steph against Caitlin Clark and the other young lady. But Caitlin said the All-Star for the WNBA is in Indiana, and if she's going to do anything, she'll do it in her own hometown. So they kind of squashed it because they couldn't enhance it. So they just said, no, we'll not do it. So that's kind of what they said.
Okay, what you think, Don?
I didn't know much about it, so I have to just listen to what this guy just said because I didn't pay a lot of attention to it.
They got to do something to bring some excitement back, to the All-Star weekend. Because I remember back in the day when you had the East and the West, Bird and Magic going at it, and Isaiah Thomas going at it with Magic himself, or Dr. J, and the West Karl Malone and Elijah Wan and Patrick Ewing. I mean, it was fun then. I mean, you look forward to watching the NBA All-Star weekend, slam dunk contest. You look forward to watching it. So they got to bring some excitement back. What about the three-point shootout? You got Jalen Brunson for the Knicks, Cade Cunningham from the Pistons, Darius Garland from the Cavs, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Damian Lillard, and Norman Powell. Who do you think, Pastor, going to win that shootout?
I'm going with
Dame.
I'm going to Dame time. Going with Dame.
All right, who you got, Anthony, on that one? Well,
I'll be biased. I'm gonna root for my guy Brunson for the Knicks. Maybe he'll pull it off.
Okay, who you got, Don?
I don't know. Say those names again.
Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham from the Pistons, Darius Garland from the Cavs, Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat, Buddy Hield from the Warriors, Cam Johnson from the Nets, Damian Lillard, Dame time from the Bucks, and Norman Powell from the Clippers.
I guess I do got to go with Dame.
Because he got the experience. He got the experience, number one. I mean, if he don't win that.
I like Tyler Hero, but I don't know if he can warm up or not. You never know when he's going to have a hot game and when he's not.
Yeah. I mean, and if I was Dame, I'd be like Larry Bird. I'll come in there and say, well, who's coming in second? Because who's coming in second? Because that's what Dame need to do. They got to bring some excitement back to this weekend, man. They got to do something. And it's
like you were saying, though, back in the day, they used to actually try to win. Now they're not. They're just they might score 200 points. They ain't playing no D. You come down the middle, and LeBron's gonna come down with the dunk, and everybody's gonna move out the way, and so it's no excitement. Back in the day, I remember Dwayne Wade broke Kobe's finger in the All-Star game. Kobe going off, they was actually playing. Now it's like they don't care. So it's the same thing.
Admit, I'm really not excited about watching it either.
I haven't watched it in a couple of years, actually. I've just
like
admit
football,
I haven't.
I can't watch no flag football where they're trying to grab the flag. I can't watch. I couldn't watch it.
I actually watched some of that, Don. I was surprised that I watched it, and some of it was cool. I watched the tug of war with the big guys, and some of it, because you got them big guys out there and doing the tug of war, and it was actually, and they had the puncher had to kick the ball in the barrel. So they had some creative things. That's probably the first time I watched it in years, and I just happened to be flipping through it. It was nothing on, and I said, "What is this?" So I watched it.
But Don, to be honest with you, now, if everything goes good with these four teams, because like Shaq team, he got LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. That's a good team. Okay?
That's a good team.
You're going against Kenny Smith, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Darius Garland, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cade Cunningham, Tyler Hero, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Williams. No, Shaq team better than that team. But anyway, then Barkley team has got the Joker, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Trae Young, SGA.
That's a good team too.
Wembanyama. So.
That's a good team right there.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's a good team right there, man. Whose team is that?
When you brought that
was Barkley's team.
That's Barkley's team?
Talking about the All-Star game itself.
What you say,
That's a good team right there.
Basically, I was talking about the All-Star game itself.
That's All-Star. They got to play each other.
Some other games, I'm just waiting to see how they work. That's the Sunday
like
game you're talking about.
Like Anthony's saying, Don, you got 4 teams. The 2 teams want to play each other. Then the winners will play the other winner, right? That's how it's going to work, right, Anthony?
Yes.
Yep.
And the TNT guys, they drafted the team. So out of all the All-Stars, the TNT guys picked their team. So, That
We'll see.
Barkley team sounds good, man.
Hey, yeah, it sounds good. Barkley teams, but I like Shaq team, man. LeBron.
Shaq is
Kevin Durant.
OGs. That's the name of his team. The
Okay,
Shaq
okay,
OGs.
all
Yeah,
right. LeBron, Kevin Durant,
the
Steph
OGs.
Curry, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. Come on.
We
You
can
ain't,
see why they the OGs. That's for sure.
you ain't beating that.
Mhm.
You ain't beating that team. What's up, Bishop? Your audio, man. Your audio's not on. All right. All right. So that's All-Star Weekend. We're gonna get more into that. Get more into the All-Star Weekend as well. In football, Pastor,
Uh-huh.
Jalen Hurts is the Super Bowl MVP. Can the Eagles become the next dynasty in the NFL? The Philadelphia Eagles. Now they got the monkey off their back. Can they move on and get a back-to-back and maybe become a dynasty?
I think so. As long as they can keep the team intact. That's the thing. The defense, so all we've been hearing all week long, which I agree, like we talked about when remember when they beat Minnesota, we said the blueprint. They got the blueprint now for Kansas City. You gotta rush them like Tampa Bay did, same blueprint. And they got a young defensive team. As long as they can keep that team together. And Jalen Hurts proved. He said, okay, stop Barkley and make me. And they tried to stop Barkley, which they did, and say, okay, Jalen Hurts, you beat us. He beat them. So, they could be. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same two teams in the Super Bowl next year.
Because you got to remember, I'm getting you, Anthony, Bishop, and Don in a minute. You remember that we did say that this Philly team was better this year than the one that lost to Kansas City.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, Anthony, are they that much better than Kansas City? I mean, they beat their behinds. Are they that much better, Philly, than Kansas City? Anthony.
Yeah, I think they definitely proved that they were. I agree with Rev. I think that you can start talking about, you have to me, you have to win multiple Super Bowls before you can start saying the D word. So now the fact that they've gone to 2 of the last 3, they're getting, they're getting there. Basically, and I said this on Tuesday, I think it's a possibility of we're looking at the Manning Brady of this generation between Hurts and Mahomes. And I still think Mahomes is still part of the GOAT conversation because the alleged GOAT lost 3 and he's only lost 2. And he's still, and again, both the thing to me that's the scary thing with Hurts and Mahomes, they're both over 30. The scary thing to a certain extent, they may not have even hit their prime yet. If they stay healthy, it could be at the very least, it could be a trilogy.
All right, Bishop, you picked Philly to win the Super Bowl and to beat the Chiefs. Now, is this a dynasty that could be in the making or what?
God, I can't. I want to say yes, but I can't say yes because they're still work in progress.
But Bishop, even last year there was 10-0, 10-1, and then they fell. They fell. Right.
See, and I'm not going to go on their regular season record. I'm going to use just their postseason alone. Regular season is going to get you to the postseason. We all recognize that. I need Philly to come across maybe 1, possibly 2 more times before I start saying dynasty. I'm not saying they can't do it, but what I am saying is they do have obstacles in front of them because with every year, each team improves. So let's wait and see what happens. I'll say right now, no. And if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. That's all there is to it. Ask Don, he'll tell you I've been wrong before.
Let's get it down in a second. But you got Barkley and you got Hurts. Not just Barkley. Not just Hurts. You got 2. You got probably one of the best running backs in the game. Yeah. Then you got the offensive line. Then you got Hurts, one of the best quarterbacks that should have 2 quarterbacks.
And listen, I'm not arguing with that, Jerry. I'm not even going to argue with that. You got one of the best defensive lines if you want to go there, and they've got a very good, not a great, but a very good secondary. So they got all the tools. So it's a coin flip because let's do it this way. It takes 1 injury to mess the whole thing up. Ask the Detroit Lions about that. Detroit, remember last year we had Detroit going to the Super Bowl this year.
That's
Where
right.
are they? Where were they?
They got hurt. They got
Any
hurt.
given Sunday, like we always say, any given Sunday. So give them a couple more, and then we'll call them a dynasty.
Go ahead, Don.
Well, can they become a dynasty? Yes, but they'll need
Mhm.
all the things that Bishop was saying and Pastor was saying. Everybody going to have to stay healthy. But again, now don't count the Chief out. I mean, the Chief had the loudest game we probably seen them play since they've been playing together. And I don't expect that to stay that way. Whoever the offensive coordinator was, he did not make any kind of adjustments the way I saw it. You know, they just let him kept coming in, and I mean, all them sacks on Pat Mahomes that make no sense. I expect the Chiefs to make some kind of moves to be better next year because everybody saw that flaw, and everybody will come for it. So I think in order for the Chiefs to hold up their dynasty, they're gonna have to make some changes, and I see them making it. So, but yes, I do believe the Eagles can become a dynasty, but this, like Bishop was saying, is any given Sunday for the simple fact anybody could get hurt. Last year, I believe they didn't make it because Hurts was hurt. That was why. That's what happened to them last year. It could happen again next year.
All right, Kendall. The question was because you just came on. First of all, how you doing, brother? God bless you, man.
I'm doing great. God bless you,
All right.
gentlemen.
Jalen Hurts is the Super Bowl MVP. Can the Eagles become the next dynasty in the NFL? The way they beat, they beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What's old is new again. I heard. I'm so glad that the bishop corrected you about the offensive and the defensive line. What they did is, I mean, I pretty much saw the best offense and defensive line that I can remember seeing since the Steel Curtain. So, I mean, you got the biggest offensive line in the history of the NFL. Then you had a defensive line that had to deal with them in practice. That's where it was won, in the trenches. They only rushed 4 guys. Yes, that's a winning formula right there. We know about that formula because that formula worked for the Washington Redskins, it worked for the Dallas Cowboys, and it worked for the Giants. When the NFC decided they're going to invest in offensive linemen with names, even though these names, you're going to know these names, they didn't even play for either of these teams. You're going to know these names like Orlando Pace, Jonathan Ogden. They didn't even play for those teams. But the offensive linemen, there was a premium for the offensive linemen. I think we're back there again. I think that's what happened. I saw them. I just saw lines that just weren't even moved. It had nothing to do with the running back. It had to do with the offense and the defensive line. They did what they need to do. Yeah, they could become a dynasty, but I'm still not knocking Pat Mahomes out. I mean, I just think he can come back and make something of it.
All of them can come back, but Philly beat them fair. Philly beat them good. It was down. There wasn't. I'm not going to buy the fact that they had a bad game. No, they got beat.
Philly beat them.
Look, they got beat, but look, this beat was coming from the beginning of the year by them not losing. This beat was coming. You know, they've been better off, like we always say, if they had lost earlier in the year and got this out the way. This is why this happened to them so bad. They were not ready. They wasn't ready.
They was barely squeaking. I was having the conversation with Larry all year long. And I was saying, Larry, they win. And he said, all we do is win. That's true, but y'all barely winning. I mean, y'all, Denver would have beat you in Kansas City, but they blocked the field goal at the end of the game, like at extra point field goal. They blocked it. They did it though. They did it, but they barely won like that. But the thing is, Kansas City's going to address that offensive line because that was their Achilles heel here. Tom Brady said it during the telecast. Gronk said it during the telecast. This is the same way we beat them when we beat them. Their offensive line was unable to block, to protect him, and he just ran around and just threw the ball. And then once they started feeling the pass rush, he was throwing the ball when it wasn't. Like even when they wasn't coming. Because it's in his brain. Once they hit him all them times, he was like getting rid of it. The thing they had to do, and I don't know who said it, Donald, is they should at least try to run the ball to slow down the pass rush. They didn't. They had like 7 rushes. They did the same thing Baltimore did against the Kansas City. They didn't run the ball. And they were just letting their defensive line just tee off. Run the ball. Just try to run to make them slow down. But they never did. So
add to what you're saying there, Pastor Walter. Keep this in mind. The defensive coordinator for Philadelphia said during Super Bowl week, that 2-week period, that they had been looking at that tape from the last time they played the Chiefs trying to figure out what they needed to fix. So take that 4-man rush, because I mean, this was his game plan. A 4-man rush. He had a spy, and the spy really didn't have to do much. As a matter of fact, we saw that. What was his name? I don't know if he plays outside linebacker or middle linebacker, the one that picked up the first pick 6. He's spying on him right there.
He's a cornerback.
Well, I don't know what he was, but the truth of the
He's
matter
cornerback.
is, he had his eyeballs on Mahomes. If Mahomes had run 2 feet, he's going to come and mow him down. Instead, Mahomes threw, and I mean, he kind of threw it behind the receiver a little bit, but at the same time, regardless of what happened, like you said, they got their backs handed to them. Now, what's going to happen next year, as you asked, Jerry? Well, let's say it again, all together now. Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
I got you now.
Because sometimes, you have a run, like Kansas City had their run. Philly, to me, they showed that they was the best team. They beat the Commanders, even though they wasn't a great team. But every team you put in front of them, they beat them fair and square. I think Philly, they got the confidence now. They're going to be the team to beat now, Don. Not Kansas City. I think it's going to be Philly.
They're the team right now because they're the champs.
That's right.
So ain't nothing else you can say about that.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, another question then, should Travis Kelce retire past the wall?
I think he's gonna. Well, I just heard today that they gave him until March 15th or something like that to make his decision. Either he's coming back or he's retiring, because I know he has $11 million bonus if he's on the team. So they're telling him, if you come back, we want you back. It's fine, but they're not gonna let him drag it out. So that they can move on, or know that, okay, Travis back and we can address something else. But I just heard that today, that they already gave him a deadline for next month to let him know if he's coming back or not. I think he should retire. I thought in a tweet when we was doing the game, he's washed. He's not the superstar or the difference maker that he used to be. Before, you had to put your top defensive corner to hold Kelce. Now you don't. You can put your third guy on him and double team whoever their A guy is. That wasn't before. That wasn't like that. You had to put your top guy on Kelce because he was like a wide receiver. He no longer is. Last year, you guys said it's cost of Taylor Swift, and I said nope. He's washed. He's washed. He's washed.
We on TV. You call the guy washed. Anthony, go ahead.
He's not He's not the difference maker that he used to be. That's the whole thing.
Is Kelce washed up and should retire or what?
I think once you start talking about it, I think you're already halfway there. And I don't think it's a Taylor Swift thing. I just think it's just a progression. You go, you get that 5 to 6 year window to be the best player at your position. It's gone now. It's no disrespect. He's probably going to have a bust in Canton. In 5 years and everything like that. But it's no if he retires, it's not going to be any disgrace. He's written an incredible story.
That's right.
What you think? Now go to Don and Kendall. What you think?
Well, I mean, I can't disagree with Pastor Wall or with Anthony. I mean,
is he washed up?
Yeah, well, let me put it to you like this: if you could run a 4.40 and give me a good time, what's a good time for 4.40?
Did he have a good game? Right. But did he have a good game in the championship game? He had a good game there, right? In the AFC championship
game, they left him so wide open. He could have went got popcorn and came back and still caught the ball. That's a different story. But no, honestly speaking, Kelce he's run his course, and I'm going to simply say, if he's got one good year left in him, we got to hope it turns out to be an injury-free year, because when you get down to this part of your life and this part of your career, now you're more injury-prone than you've ever been. The worst thing anybody wants to do is go out because of injury, or have to retire because you got a busted ankle or a busted shoulder, or you just can't see the ball anymore. There's 2 balls coming at you at the same time. You know what I'm talking about. Bottom line, Kelce, just relax. Now, here's what I want to ask: that $11 million, if he opts out or if he doesn't take it, does that go against their cap space? Or do they pay that outright to him and keep their cap?
That's the whole thing for the deadline, because I think it's like March 1st or March 11th or something like that. Because
something like that.
They do that so that once he says yay or nay, if he stays, of course, it'll go on their cap. If he doesn't, then that frees them up. and
Exactly.
then they can go maybe get some offensive linemen, and not to go too far off, but to me, one of the most interesting off-season stories is going to be who gets Myles Garrett.
Okay.
That's going
Exactly.
to be a good question. He's
All
out.
right.
And you already see the Jets said, "No, thank you, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. We don't want you back." So here's a guy, a Hall of Fame. Here's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you only have a team.
Wow.
They said,
Yeah.
we no, thank you. We'll tell you already now. We don't want you back.
Pastor Walt,
we saw
let
that
me
coming.
give you the inside scoop. In Minnesota, they're considering bringing Aaron in for a year. Please don't do that. You want to talk about a headache and a disruption to your harmony? Soon as you bring Aaron Rodgers in, Mr. Kowesi, if you're watching this podcast, bruh, please, I'm begging you. Okay, I'll buy a season ticket just to keep him out. Okay,
Kelsey though, since Kelsey retired, that's your boy now.
Well, what I'm saying is last year, I think Taylor Swift helped him last year, and I also think she destroyed him this year because it was too much of that partying all the time. Couldn't keep up with her. I think he's going to retire because I said if they won a championship, he would probably keep going. But boy, he was barely even seen in the playoff in the championship this year.
yeah.
He was barely heard from. His little short cross or whatever you want to call it wasn't nothing working for him this year. So he's on his way out now. But it came from partying with Taylor Swift.
Wow.
That would slow a man down. I know you guys don't agree with me.
No,
but you guys need
There's
to
a
read
possibility.
No, I don't agree. He's just old.
That's a party
And
girl.
see-
She might look
Listen.
nice to everybody and quiet, but she's a party girl.
But let's
No.
keep it 100 and
You
be
don't have a
grown
party
men
girl
and be
that don't party all the
respectable
time.
about what I'm about to say right here.
all right.
Not only was it a party, in a PG fashion, there was another party that possibly any athlete knows you can't have that other party when you got a contest coming up.
If you got to Taylor Swift, you in whatever party she wants you in.
No.
Yeah, but you're not.
Between
But
the
you're not.
lines.
You're not taking into account. That's true, but you're not taking into account that he's old. He's
Yeah.
not like. It's not like he was 5 years. 5 years ago, he could have did whatever you guys are insinuating and still made an impact on the field. He can't do that now. He's old.
You're right.
I mean, he's old.
100%
I mean,
right
he's a
on
Hall
that.
of Famer. He's one of the best tight ends ever. But right now, Ant, you can't put him in the top 5 tight ends with Barrows and all those other young tight ends. He ain't even up there with them.
Go ahead, Kendall.
You don't want to be.
I guess
You
we
don't
can
want to
have-
be. You don't want to be the player that said, "Oh, I remember when he was great." You don't want that.
No,
Right.
no,
No.
you don't.
No, he definitely better go out this year.
All right.
Get him a sweater and
Kendall.
walk him out to the dog track. He's
Let me let
Yeah.
Kendall say something. Kendall,
Come on,
Kelsey.
Kendall.
You got the NFL trying to go with this 18-game season. Why? Because it's money. You got a little situation here in this Travis Kelce situation, and you literally added 12 million people to watch the game because he is Taylor Swift's boyfriend. If I were the NFL and I would invest that $11 million in him, I'd do the old Dr. J. Kareem tour. Your last shot at seeing Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift accompanies him. Now the players gonna have to play 18 games. They're gonna make that money, because if you start listening to them, the greed is just like crazy in the NFL. They want 18 games. They're talking about it. You got a cash cow over here. You got the most popular singer going with a Hall of Fame tight end. He's on his last leg. Why not get a couple dollars out of it? Let him earn his $11 million. And he doesn't have to go out like that. I mean, he doesn't have to have a good game. He can make appearances high and a couple of hits, and that's that. And Taylor Swift can sign autographs. Very serious about it, too. They'll make a lot of money.
Remember, they did say that the women's attendance went up 37% because
Absolutely.
of Taylor Swift.
The NFL in general is benefiting from Taylor Swift.
That's right.
Definitely. Because people that wouldn't normally watch are watching just for her.
Right.
But that don't make him not be washed up, though.
He's still washed up, but
He's still washed up.
Well, we're gonna say that, but he washed up.
Ain't hurting him none.
Yeah, but listen,
Well, we're
I mean, it's obvious. All of us think the same thing. I'm just simply saying, get the brother a sweater and send him out at the dog track.
Well,
That's all.
Wall said he washed up about 10 times, so he washed up. If Wall said it, he's washed up. Listen,
Oh, you look at him. I mean,
I got you.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at him from where he was,
Yeah.
before you, like I said, you had to either double team him or put your best guy on him.
All right, listen, I got a few
That changed the whole game plan.
I'm
All right, go ahead,
going to keep you all night, but I got a few more topics. This is
Okay.
Sports Talk on the WJRG KMI Television Network. I'm Dr. Jerry Green, along with Big Don Production, our sports legend, Anthony McLean, our greatest pastor, Walter Teague from Pasalea, one of the greatest bishops, Bishop Ernest Richard from Power to Stand, and every moment move, Brother Kendall Tyson, my man. Having a great time tonight, but like I said, we have a lot to move on. I'm going to move on to NBA again. Let me get to my topic. JJ Redick, pass the ball. I got to ask you this question. JJ Redick, he's 31 and 20. He lost last night. All right, doing a great job compared to what the other guy did was Darvin Ham, 25 and 25. Is he making a big difference this year, or just the Lakers are playing better? Do you credit JJ Redick for the record the Lakers got?
Do I credit him? Well, yeah, he's doing a good job. But you see what just happened with him against Utah. They got killed, and Utah stinks. So the thing is, no, for real, Utah stinks, and they blew him out. So, but yeah, he has an impact. But I think you're going to start seeing the fallout of this trade because Anthony Davis is gone. The other kid from Charlotte couldn't pass the physical, so now they don't have anyone to rebound and block and play defense. So you're going to see the results now. But yeah, JJ's doing I think he's doing a great job of managing, putting the guys in the right position. I think he's doing a good job. Yes.
What about you?
I think you're going to see them fall now.
What about you, Anthony? 31 and 20.
I mean, they're a little bit better. I wouldn't put it all to his coach, and I think they also, you know, they want to play better because of how last year played out as well. Yeah, I don't, you know, right now I guess what are they, 5th, 6th overall in the West?
Yeah,
5th.
I mean, you know,
but an old 40-year-old LeBron though. Keep that in mind.
Oh, well, look, LeBron, you know, LeBron is LeBron, and you know, adding Lucas. But look, they're going to be entertaining to watch. Whether they're going to win the title? No, absolutely not.
Okay, but no, don't just say LeBron is LeBron now. I mean,
no, I'm just saying LeBron, and no, I'm not saying it as out of disrespect. I'm saying it out of the fact that, you know, he's probably the one player in the NBA now that could just probably already have his bus in Springfield. Yeah, but it's a sort of, but see, he can't do it all by himself though. That's the thing.
Okay, let me go with Don, Kendall, and the Bishop. Now, just put this up there as well because in 2003 when he was drafted, it was 439 active players. He's the only one remaining. That's why I said a 40-year-old LeBron, the only one still standing in 2025. So Don, again, can the Lakers do anything with a 40-year-old LeBron? And is it LeBron James or JJ Redick that you give the credit to for the turnaround?
Well, I give it to both of them because, you know, LeBron James still playing like a young man, so you got to give him credit. And JJ Redick, he's playing the pieces just right. You know, he's doing it just right. So I think both of them are doing their part. The only reason they're not going to move forward because they didn't get any kind of defense going on with Luka. You know, they're going to be exciting to watch, but they're going to need some defense out there. And they didn't do any improvement on that at all.
Did they pick up somebody for Sacramento or something?
Yeah, he played in that game, and he had 3 points and 2 rebounds or something like that. Yeah, he played in that game that they got killed.
You got to give me a Bishop. Go ahead, Walk. Go ahead, Bishop. Come on now.
Walt was talking about he had 3 points, 2 rebounds, and about 40 fouls.
Walt's a Laker man, so Walt will be all right.
I know.
Still telling the truth.
Like this. And I don't see much difference. It's a 6-game differential between Ham and JJ Redick. And I'm not a Laker fan, but for what I saw of the Lakers last year, they didn't have very good shooters last year. I'm just simply saying, my observation. This year, I think they've got better shooters, not because Doncic showed up. Doncic does offensively add to them, but still they got a defensive problem. And until they solve that defensive problem, I don't see much difference. Percentage points, a 6-game spread. What is that? Like a 5%, a 5% average, give or take? There's not much difference. 25-25, 31-20. What's the difference?
All right.
JJ's doing a good job. But JJ, I don't want to put JJ on a pedestal like he's I don't know, I don't want to say Pat Riley because he wasn't that good either. Anyway, I won't call who's the guy who used to be the coach for the Miami Heat, Stan Van Gundy. I think that but yeah. I mean, I would put Stan Van Gundy in front of Reddick, but the truth of the matter, Reddick's doing
He's only in his second year, bro. You're only in his
I know
second
that, but see, that's what I'm saying.
Well, first year.
We're taking a 5-game differential and trying to make this sensationalize this guy. We can't do that. He
just said, did he do any credit? Any credit for what he did? I think the other is help.
His coaching, along with LeBron and the rest of the team, is where the credit lies.
All right, go ahead, Kendall.
20% what I'll give him.
What you think, Kendall? Is JJ Redick doing does he get some of the credit?
I think LeBron, when you listen to his interviews, he's highly cerebral. So, I mean, LeBron James picks up plays that are very different from that I've ever seen interviews. And he pretty much had JJ Redick being the coach long before we even talked about this. So I am sure LeBron James has a lot to do with the coach and the general managing aspect of the Los Angeles Lakers, and trying to do his best to make sure that his, protege is not failing. They had to have some kind of connection. We knew JJ Redick was going to be a coach of the Los Angeles Lakers long before he became the coach. It leaked. They went through the process. They even interviewed Dan Hurley. But we knew it was going to be JJ Redick. JJ Redick is 31-19, 31-20, lost last night. And Bronny had his career high last night, lost last night. I just think it's LeBron James. I mean, no career, it's him. He's behind all of this.
All right. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Another question for you guys. Which team, I got the picture up here, would you say benefited and won in the trade deadline? The Golden State Warriors with Jimmy Butler, the Lakers with Luka. We know Anthony Davis out for the rest of the year. I heard. That's what I read. I don't know how true that is. The Bucks, what's up? Andrew Wiggins.
Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma, Andrew Wiggins. But which team you guys think made out the best with these trades, man? Or if anybody did? Start with you, Kendall.
Milwaukee Bucks with Kyle Kuzma, because Chris Middleton, he fell off a little bit. And I also think that that Luka situation is probably box office. They're going to need a year to gel. But that Jimmy Butler is looking pretty good too. So I'm going to say the Kyle Kuzma, Milwaukee, Golden State Warriors, and then I'm going to say Luka.
What about you, Pastor Walt?
Well, I love Kendall, but that would Kuzma stink, man. But anyway, I would say Dallas. I would say Dallas if AD was healthy, but now, man, for this year. But I tell you, Jimmy Butler has made a big impact now with Golden State. Luka, for the long run, the Lakers are definitely the winner of the trade because he's only 25 years old. Yep. And before it's all said and done, that's going to be the biggest win. But for this season, man, I don't know. I think right now it seems to be Jimmy Butler because AD is hurt. If AD was healthy, I would say the Dallas would be, in the running to win the title this year with a healthy AD.
Jimmy Bucket. What about you, Bishop? What'd you think?
Well, listen, Pastor Walt, that was my choice right there. I was going to say Golden State for the immediate. I love Luka, watching him, and AD, well, y'all know how I felt about AD back in the day. Even when he was healthy, his fingernail wasn't broke. Nonetheless, the bottom line is this. I'm just going to keep my eyes on this whole thing, all right? I kind of think Golden State may, and they haven't replaced, to me, what they've lost in Thompson, but at least they've got somebody that can help them and can help, scoring-wise. They can give them some assistance and give them the help they need. So I'll say Golden State.
All right, Anthony, what you think, bro?
Short term Golden State, but long term Spurs. I think the Spurs are really building something. If not, they may get maybe they do a little something this year, but I think in the long run, we're going to look back at this Spurs trade, and that's going to be part of them getting back into being the elite in the West.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Don.
Yeah.
Well, he took the words right out of my mouth because I was waiting to say De'Aaron Fox to me was that best trade. You might not see much of it this year, unless again, I believe if Chris Paul become the general and lead them boys, they could still do a little bit this year. But in the long term, but other than that, I got to go with the Lakers. You know, I think the Lakers are gonna, you know, they're gonna get Luka out there and they're gonna make him a front runner, something they couldn't do with AD, and we're gonna be hearing more about that.
All right, Kendall, I got to ask you a question because I know it's getting kind of late on a Friday night. I don't want to keep you guys all night, but I got to show this again. Now, in the 2003 draft, it was Dwayne Wade, this is some of them now, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Kendrick Perkins, Luke Walton, and of course, LeBron James in that draft. He's the only one still remaining. Now, you're a physical guy. You do like exercise and all that stuff. What is the secret behind LeBron? What's the magic that LeBron James is doing?
I think he's just staying in shape. I think LeBron James has a.
All the guys stay in shape, Kendall.
But I think LeBron James has a different offseason regimen than the rest of them. Because that's the only explanation we're going to have. There can be no offseason with this guy. See, an athlete like LeBron at 40 years old, there can't be any rest. I mean, LeBron he's breaking records. The oldest to score 30 points. He and Steph Curry the other night. They're doing their thing. I think it's an offseason regimen. I'm going to say it. I also believe it's the fact that he's married. To be perfectly honest, he's not out there running around. Not that we know of or anything like that. I believe. I just believe that he's not only is he a physical specimen, but I think he takes care of his body. He has to.
What about you, Bishop? What you think, man? What's LeBron's secret, man? Come on. All these years, 2003, the only ones still playing at a high level too.
I mean, playing at a high level, yes. I I thought Adebayo was still around, but I guess he must have left because he was one of those back in 03, I believe. But anyway, that's neither here or there. It's his stamina. It's his regiment and what he does. Only 2 or 3 players we can name right now that had that kind of regiment. Michael Jordan was the other one, where he kept his body in conditioning. I mean, LeBron, I don't think he doesn't look like he's lost a step. He's a little bit slower, but he still has that it factor, He just has that it factor. The only thing he's doing, y'all forgive me. I'm sorry, Dr. Teague. I love you as a brother, but we gotta buy him some extra tissue. That's the only complaint I got about LeBron. Okay, that's it. Just buy him some extra tissue.
Go ahead, Don. What you think about LeBron? But first of all, Bishop, Michael was smoking cigars back then too. Now and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
still smoking them today.
But he might have been smoking cigars, but his conditioning. I mean, and I'm gonna say this too. I don't want to get into the GOAT category.
No, we're not gonna do that. No.
Michael, the people Michael played against, that era was a lot tougher to me than this era now. So,
I'll go along with that. Yeah, it was more physical. Go ahead, Don.
Well, I think we're all overlooking the fact that LeBron James have $1 million program plan that he goes on. We don't know what the heck he's drinking. But for $1 million regiment plan, they brought that up a lot over the years. He's got some kind of $1 million thing that he's doing. He's drinking some kind of special stuff. Whatever it is, it must be legal. But it ain't normal for his body and for him to be in that kind of condition without some kind of vitamins going on.
Now, you're not saying like Aaron Pryor, and you give me the bag, the special bottle I mix. You're not saying that, are you?
They said his wife, they were trying to sell some kind of product that his wife had. They keep saying there's some kind of product out there. I don't know much about it. Nobody knows much about it.
The media will find out.
He spends $1 million on his fitness.
What do you think, Anthony?
That's not just lifting weights.
Right. What do you think, Anthony? What's the secret? What's the secret, Anthony? Come on now.
Well, think about it. He's only had really one major injury his whole career. I guess it was that first season in LA where he had the hamstrings. But he's always, it's never really been a situation where he's been either out of shape or having a major injury. In a sense, this 40th year was started 10, 15 years ago when he made that commitment to become the player that he is. It's for a guy to be able to play at his age. The regiment started years ago, and it's just a testament that he is. It's a testament that he is still playing. I mean, there's only been a handful of players that played, and not so much dominated, but were still major factors at his age. So yeah, you gotta give the devil his due. Now, how many more do you think we can get another? Do they think they can get another year out of him?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but again, $1 million, you don't think some kind of vitamins or juice, something's going in that body now?
There
It might
he
have
is.
started back then.
But you know what? As long as it's like the Barry Bonds argument. If it's not illegal, then
Well, it's not
see.
illegal.
Well, I was going to bring up Barry, but if I had time, but let me go with Walter, Pastor Walter. Walt, what's LeBron's secret, bro? In your
I don't
opinion?
know, obviously he's a physical specimen, to be that big and to be that agile. I know you're saying that, the years ago it was more physical, but they didn't want any of that. LeBron is like a Rick Mahorn, but more athletic. He's a big boy. He ain't just, a little kid out there. But yeah, I'm looking at his training thing and they're talking about his cardio. He does yoga. He, he eats eggs and white omelets. So he got the whole thing of smoked salmon. I'm looking at it right now. But like Donald said, he spends an awful lot on his off season. And this is one of the things that they're hoping will rub off on Luka. I mean, they were just talking about this the other day. Luka looks up to LeBron, always has. So they're banking on that some of this will rub off and that LeBron is one that could speak into his life and say, look, you could do this if you dedicate yourself to it. One of the things they were saying about the reason they signed off on him, they said he came in out of shape every year because he's so talented. He's like, I can just show up and get 50. And they're saying it's more to it than that. And they're hoping that LeBron could be able to show him, like, look, 40 years old, and I'm still doing this.
And I think
I believe that.
But Don, another guy that should benefit from that and talk to LeBron is Zion Williamson, all right? Because he could be the face of the league if he really wanted to be. Because they wanted him to be the face of the league. If he followed behind LeBron, he could definitely be the face of the league.
They were saying that, that's what they were looking at. They was thinking when he came in, like, oh wow, this is the next LeBron.
Right.
But it didn't pan out.
It's almost 6:58. I want to move on for a couple more. Don, start with you. This is a good one. Look at this picture here. Steph Curry is about 36 years old, ready to retire. Is he up there with this? Is he in the stratosphere with these boys? Can he climb up the stairs and be up the top with Michael, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Kobe, and Tim Duncan? Is Steph in that stratosphere yet? Yes or no?
I don't know if he at the top of that stratosphere, but he definitely belong on the steps. I will say that 100. He definitely belong up there. I'm not saying standing right next to Michael or Kareem, but he's in the mix. He's one of the boys. No reason for Steph not to be up there.
Okay, Pastor Walt, give me your what you think?
Oh yeah, he's got to be. I mean, he changed the face. He changed the NBA with the 3-point shooter. So now he made all the guys, believe that they could play this game. They don't have to be jamming, and they don't have to be, 7 foot, 6 foot. He's a little guy, frail guy, and he's changed the NBA style. Now you got everybody want to shoot threes like Steph, so he definitely belongs up there. Okay, he's already better. He's already past Shaq to me. So
okay. So for example, like even Allen Iverson came in the '90s, in '96. That was during the era with the hip hop. He came in like that. So he changed the culture himself. But
absolutely.
But is Steph more of a game changer than what Allen Iverson was, in your opinion, Pastor?
More of a game changer?
Yeah. Okay.
Allen brought in the hip hop, everybody with cornrows and tatted up. That's the Allen Iverson era,
What about you?
Don't forget no rings either. He got no rings, Iverson.
Okay.
Right.
Iverson.
Don't bring the ring up, Don. Don't bring the rings up.
No, well, he's right.
Real.
Iverson had no rings, but he did bring a culture to the NBA because remember, prior to Iverson, they had to wear suits, sport jackets, ties, the whole 20 yards. Now in the cornrows and the baggy jeans and all that stuff. But getting back to Steph, he belongs up there for sure because that is one of the most prolific 3-point shooters since they instilled the 3-point shot into the NBA. And I mean, this guy, I don't know what his percentage is, but I can just promise you this. he was an assassin at what he did. He didn't have to be a penetrating point guard. He was just one of those guys that was a clutch shooter and can get you that win on that last shot with 2.5 seconds left, even from half court. They had to guard Steph when they had any close game they had. If you've noticed, they had to guard Steph from half court because he let it go. 90% chance it was going in.
Let me say this real quick. Iverson not even in that picture, and we didn't make up the picture.
God, I understand. I just brought up because both are little guys, and both
leave Iverson alone. I like him.
They changed the culture of the game a little bit. Kendall, what you think, man, about that?
Absolutely in there. He revolutionized the game. He's got 4 Larry Bird has 3, and he is considered the greatest shooter in the game over Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. 100%. He learned to defer his game. He played, and what's his name? The other AI, Andre Iguodala. Kevin Durant got 2 MVPs, and he went and got his. You can mention him in the same breath as an Isaiah Thomas, who's on the lower level. Now that's on the lower level. Steph is in the room with all of them.
Okay, Anthony, what you think, bro? Did I get you ready? Go ahead.
Oh, no. You know what? I'll make it real simple. Wilt was perfect for his era. Elgin Baylor was perfect for his era.
Yep.
Doc was perfect for his era. Isaiah perfect for his era. The one constant, and that's the great thing about the NBA. The NBA survived Kareem retiring. It survived Bill Russell retiring. It survived the logo retiring. Steph Curry definitely is in that same conversation. Now, if you want to get into specifics in regard to championships or whatever, that's a whole other conversation. But he's not eating at the kids' table. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
No doubt.
He's in that stratosphere. You know,
I've always felt it doesn't matter whatever sport wise. You know, Jackie Robinson was perfect for his era. Willie Mays was perfect for his era. Hank Aaron, you could take any sport, and there will always be that guy. You can say he defined that particular era.
I stay on that for a minute because I got 2 more little quick ones. What about this guy here? Barry Bonds, because I knew you brought his name up earlier, belongs in the Hall of Fame. And if he's not there by the end of today, somebody put up there a couple of days ago, the museum has failed at its stated mission. Start with you, Bishop. Should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame?
I believe he should be because, they tried desperately to find something against him in what he was taking or whatever vitamins, minerals, or whatever you want to call it. So, and they couldn't find anything. And let's just give him credit. He became a must-see kind of guy for baseball. I don't know about you guys, but when he started chasing home run records, I couldn't help but sit there and watch.
Right.
I'm not a Giants fan. I just knew and I would only turn the TV when, like, if somebody just had the ESPN thing that just played, it let you know Barry Bonds was up to bat. I changed the channel just so I could watch.
What you can do?
Barry Bonds, before steroids, would still be the only player in NBA history. Well, Ohtani's on his way with 500 home runs and 500 stolen bases. His 73 home runs or whatever it was in the next year. The year after was an even better year. I think if Barry Bonds would have utilized the posture of David Ortiz. See, what happened is that during the steroids, Rafael Palmeiro, 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, all evasive. Big Papi was like, oh, Alex Rodriguez, oh, I did it. I won't do it again. Hall of Fame. All he had to do is say, I did it. It was not illegal. I did not like the fact that I saw Sammy Sosa, who couldn't even carry my lunch, and Mark McGuire talk about bringing back baseball. So I saw what they were doing, so I did it too. Had he done that and said, but I will not do it again, he's in the Hall of Fame.
But should he be in the Hall of Fame now?
I believe he was the best player. I believe Pete Rose should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, what about you, Pastor?
Yes.
Why Pete Rose ain't there?
You say yes.
Yeah, Barry Bonds should definitely be in the Hall of Fame because he was a Hall of Fame without the steroids. He didn't need it, like what Kendall just said. So yes, he was his steroids didn't make him the great defensive player that he was. That had nothing to do with steroids. So yes, he definitely should be there.
But does it help him out with the home runs though? Hit 73 home runs. I mean, come on. I mean, you're the guy.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is he would have been in the Hall of Fame anyway. He was a great defensive player. Great, like Kendall says, stolen bases. Right. He was, as they call it, a 5'2". He was 5'2" without the steroids. So yeah, he belongs there. Yeah.
What about you, Anthony? Should he be in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely, no questions asked. Him and Pete
no
Rose.
Question.
I expect to see
Pete Rose
baseball.
too. Yeah,
baseball talks out of both sides of its neck because they looked the other way when Sosa and McGuire were doing it, but then they made an example out of Barry. And then when they tried to anoint A-Rod, they found out that he was doing it just as much as Bonds. So now they're trying to, whatever. And even with Pete Rose, you can't watch a baseball game without a FanDuel moment or a DraftKings moment or a casino moment or what have you. So baseball, baseball talking out of both sides of its neck, to me, makes it so that they should be in there as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Don, what you think, bro? Barry Bonds, man.
100. See, I think they should have let those guys gave him a pass on that, since there was no really rules about it, So they should have been grandfathered in. That's the way I felt about it. They should have then come up with the future people that's doing steroids. I felt they should have been grandfathered in. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. He should go in without a doubt.
What about the rest of them? Like Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa?
I put them all in.
Who's the pitcher too? What was that pitcher name?
Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens should definitely be in the Hall of Fame too. He was a Hall of Fame without steroids too.
All right,
let me say this to Pastor real fast. One thing about steroids, it didn't only improve his hitting, it's running, jumping. It improves everything. It just totally hypens your body up. So
what I'm saying is he was great. He was great without all of that. But what it was with steroids? You know what happened with steroids? You had the guy that was only hitting the shortstops and second baseman, except for Joe Morgan, that was only hitting 13 home runs, 6 home runs a year. Now with steroids, they hitting
30 and
29 and 30. That's the thing.
And the other thing, people got to remember. Another thing people got to remember. Historically, if you look at the suspensions, there were more pitchers that were suspended because of steroids than batters. So my thinking is, if in a sense where they always talk about how it messes with the competitive balance. If you've got a pitcher that's on the thing and a batter that's on the thing, I don't see a competitive imbalance.
That's right.
Well, you know what, and I'll say this, Ed, and I yield.
Good point, Ed.
You have a higher level expertise than I do, but I always thought the pitchers got suspended because of the substance that they would put on the ball. So and then here you are. What was played for? He ended up playing for the Diamondbacks, but I think he started with the Oakland A's. This
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, this guy had a fastball that wouldn't wait a minute, man. Now I'm not sure how he clocked them at one point at 110 miles an hour. That's how the ball came.
Probably on steroids. Steroids enhance everything.
And the other thing, the old wives' tale they used to always tell you was that taking steroids gives you a better chance to recover. Now, who's going to need recovery more? An everyday ball player or over 35-year-old pitcher that pitches every 4th day and is still throwing 100 miles an hour?
That pitcher?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying,
that was the whole thing, though, and that was the thing. That was recovering from working out, and so they can get back in there and work out the next day. That was supposed to be the premises of steroids, right, Kendall?
All right. This is my final one. I got you guys going. I love it. This is the final one for tonight. This is gonna be a good one, Kendall, for you. Now, I saw this on Facebook. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up. It ain't coming up. Oh, hold on. It ain't coming up. Right there.
Right there.
The late Marvin Hagler said that Sugar Ray Leonard did not fight him when he was younger. He waited for him to get older to fight him. And he said Sugar did not beat him. It was Father Time that beat me. Okay, now, because he's saying that Sugar was just dancing around the ring. He was afraid to get punched. Do you agree with the late Marvin Hagler assessment of that fight. He said Sugar Ray till he got older after he fought what's that guy Mugabe. He fought Mugabe, I think. Then once he fought Roberto Duran and saw that Duran with the distance with him, then Sugar Ray decided to fight the guy. What do you think, Kendall? What are you saying?
Sugar Ray saw the fight of John the Beast Mugabe versus Marvin Hagler and realized that he could stand up to Roberto Duran and realized, you know what, I'm going to outpoint this guy. And if you watch it, he outpointed him. He outsmarted him. What he did at the end of the fight, we even teach this at the Karate Dojo. At the 10-second mark, at the end of every round, he stole around. As he was running around fighting, Marvin Hagler would throw the 1 and the 2. Sugar Ray would tap him twice. If you scored the fight, Sugar Ray beat him. And it was awful because he outsmarted him. And Marvin Hagler knew that, you know what? All I got to do is get a hold of him. I got to get a hold of him, and never did. I thought that Sugar Ray was foolish getting in the ring with this guy, but he outpointed him and outsmarted him. Do I believe if they had gotten in the ring again, Sugar Ray would have done that? No. Marvin Hagler learned that lesson when he went up against Thomas Hearns, and they had the all-time, like, crazy 2 rounds. Would have rushed him and would have went after him. He was in great shape, but he let Sugar Ray get away from him. Sugar Ray won that fight. Marvin did not lose that fight. He got outsmarted. And
I'm gonna say something about the end. Go ahead, Bishop.
Well, listen, and again, I'm not going to pretend to be anybody's expert on that, but watching that fight, if Sugar Ray Leonard had fought Marvin Hagler in his prime, he'd have got his butt whooped.
He would have got torn up.
He would have got his behind whooped. Do you hear me? Because Hagler wasn't as fast as Sugar Ray, but Hagler was much stronger than Sugar Ray. And I still to this day, you can correct me, Kendall, I think Sugar Ray Leonard had a glass jaw. Nobody was just able to hit him in it. That's pretty much it, you know? Because I seen him take a couple of shots, and you know this fight for yourself. Remember when, and this guy was not, well, I ain't going to call him a nobody. He is somebody. Remember Davey Boy Green? Sugar Ray Leonard gave him 2 or 3 shots in the first round. And he told him after your 3rd shot, I'm going to knock you out. Did exactly what he said he was going to do. But I think one of them shots shook him up a little bit. Then he realized, I can't let this happen. I'll never forget that fight. First round, the last, like you said, 10 seconds of the round, Davey Boy Green got beat up like a tossed salad. Round 2, he came out, boom, boom, boom. It was over. He typewritered him, man. That was it.
All right, go ahead, Pastor. What do you think on the Sugar Ray and Marvin Hagler?
What Kendall said was perfect. I mean, he just outsmarted him. He sweet talked him. You know, Hagler was a mean dude, but he you know, Sugar Ray went in there, you respect him. Is this and that. They on TV show, they buddy to buddy. If Hagler came out with his normal way that he would have took him out. But I still think he should have won because he was a champ, and Sugar Ray never hurt him. What was never even threatened. You can't take his title if he was never hurt. To me, but what Kendall said at the end of the round, he just and outpointed him. But he shouldn't have lost his title for that. He was never the same after that either.
Never the same. Go ahead, Anthony. What do you think?
Oh, I agree with Kendall. In fact, I'll even add to this. Sugar Ray ducked Marvin Hagler, but he also ducked Aaron Pryor.
He did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Aaron
did.
Pryor would have literally had him for lunch personally.
You think so? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Wow. Go ahead, Don. What you think, bro?
Hagler could only blame himself, and that's why he was so mad for so many years. Because he didn't go out with the game plan of going in there and trying to knock Sugar Ray out. It was just like Pastor was saying, you know, Sugar sort of melted him around the ring, you know, boy with him and, you know, laugh with him, you know, that kind of thing. So like made buddies with him. If he'd have went in there with that evilness on him that he had when he knocked out Tommy Hearns, he'd have did the same thing to Sugar Ray. We all feel that way. But he was outsmarted.
He had a punch, that's for sure.
Wow, no, I agree with you because Sugar set him up. It was a mind thing. The way Ali used to. No, Ali used to get his guys mad at him. But Sugar Ray, he knew how to get to Marvin Hagler in a nice way. He didn't get him mad. He didn't get him mad. But Kendall, you're my boxing guy, so that's why I do that in there for you, man. So you know you could talk about Sugar Ray Leonard and the one to Marvin. Go ahead, Bishop. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to ask Kendall something.
Go ahead.
I saw the highlights of that fight. I can't think of that what was a middleweight fight. I mean, this golden girl, the new golden girl.
Clarence Shields?
Is that Sharice?
Was
Clarice?
that her name?
Clarice?
Sharice, yeah, and Perkins was the other
Clarice, I
one.
think that's her name.
Well, tell me something about that, man. Because I mean, watching
I
that,
don't
I
know.
was just watching it on YouTube, man, and I couldn't believe, man, when she hit it. I mean, you know, you watch the fight, and then all of a sudden you see that one punch that like knocks all of the
It was
life
even
out
a
of it.
short punch too.
Yeah.
It was
I
even a
mean,
short
just knocked
punch. I
all
saw
of the
it.
life out of that point. And the girl, I mean, she should have been out muscled. I mean, her opponent was a lot taller, looked a lot stronger, but she went down like a sycamore that just got cut.
She stuck that chin out there. That chin got caught. She came out like that, caught that chin.
Man,
It was
Hey,
good night,
hey,
Irene.
serious out there now.
hey, it's like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan till you get punched in the mouth.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's like ask Michael Spinks when he man.
Oh, yes. For that matter, for that matter, ask Leon Spinks. He got punched in the mouth. He said, I got nothing to lose.
All right. All right. All right. Well, but that's going to do it for tonight. Let me close out in prayer. Father God, we just thank you for another beautiful night you've given us, Lord, on Sports Talk on this Friday edition. Thank you each and every one that's viewing us on YouTube, Facebook, on the WJRG television network. I want to thank Big Don Production, our sports legend, Anthony McLean, Pastor Walter Teague, Bishop Ernest Richard, also my brother Kendall Tyson, Bob McCormick, my brother Larry Pearson, and Henry Green, my other brother. So, Father God, just thank each and every one that comes to this line every Tuesday and Friday, Lord, for their faithfulness. And so we can have fun in you, Lord. We just want to show the world that we can have fun in you, because you're the one that made us, Father God, the day that you give us every day, Lord, that we don't take for granted, because we just love you that much. I thank you, Father God, for keeping me in perfect health in the name of Jesus. And we love you, Lord, and continue to add viewers to this podcast every week, Lord, so we can have fun in you. And we give you all the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
One
Amen.
thing, Gary, before you
Right.
leave, for those
Right.
of you who are watching, thank every one of you. The KMI podcast is over 1,100 views in the short amount of time that we've been posted. Well, we need you to keep feeding. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, your sister, your brother, that cousin you don't even like. Let somebody know KMI USA is right there giving you the very best. Connecticut's #1 TV podcasting station.
Yeah, and I do want to say, Brother Anthony, this is something that when we first started this about 4 years ago, Bishop, Donald, about 5 years, the main vision was to get it on television. So we got our own television network, man. So that's what good God is, man. That was the whole plan.
Absolutely.
We started with just
Absolutely.
Facebook Live. We did Facebook Live, and God said, no, we're going to put this thing on television. So we're on TV tonight. And I want to thank all you guys for your loyalty, for being committed, man, because, I'm going to look at this as the next ESPN for a Christian standpoint, so we can be a blessing to the world. All right. So I want to keep, if I'm not around, Big Don, Bishop, Kendall, all you guys know exactly what to do. So let's have some fun and let's make this thing work. Amen.
Hey, watch
Amen.
this, Don. Hey, Jerry, my check was a little short this week. No, let me stop.
I know what, Bishop. We didn't receive that payment you was going to
There you go. There you go.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Already.
I'll be back out with y'all Tuesday, Lord willing, man. Have a blessed weekend and watch the NBA All-Star Weekend. We have some talk. We're going to talk about that this weekend. All right, everybody.
I'm going to watch it all.
All
Take
right.
care, guys.
Everybody. All right.
All right.